Christy here. Thank you, Juliana, for introducing all of the wonderful talking points on the getting started portion of our presentation. Now, here's something you might want to know about our lesson plans. They are on the Growing Math website. Why don't I pull that up?
Yes.
Wonderful. This is where we want to get started, guys. All right, then. So on our Growing Math site, we have a bunch of lesson plans from 3rd grade all the way to 7th grade at this time. We will be adding more 8th grade lesson plans in the future for our subjects that we offer, which range from English, language arts, mathematics, history, social studies, ESL, if I'm correct. Sten, correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to have some ESL in there too.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so yes, we are. So starting on the lesson plan page, each of our lesson plans are standards aligned. They can range in length from 10-minute lesson plans for that one day where you just absolutely need to get teaching on a small scale, or if you want to just keep it uncomplicated for the students, we have those available. We have longer lessons as well that have more activities, and our lesson plans also integrate with the games as well. Okay, so in addition, about the standards aligned lesson plans, we align it with Common Core, but they're also aligned with state standards local to your area. So we do have those too. They are both written by our team members in Growing Math, as well as educators that we've hired from schools that we know. We know some teachers who usually contribute those lesson plans, but really anyone who wants to just dedicate their minds to developing lesson plans for us is all right to sign up, and we'll see if you're worthy. So we do seriously vet all of those lesson plans to keep everything high quality and perfect for you guys to use, because we only want the best for your students. Okay. And they are also vetted by cultural consultants so that your students will get the best cultural experience. And no, there are no lies here, okay? I sound like an influencer. Okay, that was an aside.
Oh, funny.
Okay, so you can see here in 3rd grade lesson plans that we have English, language arts, and math and social studies available. So we've structured each of our lessons to have the standards right at the top so that you can immediately see what the lesson covers. If we scroll down here, you see that they are also separated by subject, like division, estimation, multiplication, and so on. ELA, currently we have cross-curricular materials available like division, English language arts, and an agriculture one coming up here in a bit. And that one is also for 3rd grade that we need to post. So social studies is also available. So here's an example of a lesson plan that can be integrated with one of our video games. So we have Trade for a Wigwam here. This is categorized by grade level and subject, as you can see in the tags. Now, this makes navigation a little bit easier. So if you would click on one of those tags right at the very top, that would also bring up other related lesson plans. But some lesson plans that we have on our page are also linked in. As you can see at the very bottom, Rabbits Do a Multiplication and also Making Camp 10-minute history, those are considered related lesson plans. Excuse the siren, guys. Okay, now at the very top we have the standard taught for Trading for a Wigwam, which is Minnesota State Standard, and it reads, North America was populated by indigenous nations that had developed a wide range of social structures, etc. So that is our aim for this lesson. You can see here that it's very short. It takes only 10 minutes, and it can be done as a standalone activity at the beginning or the end of a class to raise engagement. or you can combine it with something else for a longer lesson. So these bite-sized lessons are very convenient for your class. That way you don't have to commit to an entire unit all at one time, right? And sometimes that's something that, that can be very overwhelming to try and pick and choose lesson elements to include in your class. I mean, this is kind of something that we want to help you save time with. So we do list the technology required for our lesson, so you can immediately see what you need to carry out that lesson, such as like, oh, well, you need a device like Chromebook, laptop, or document projector or something. Make sure, or like, well, you might need a printer for printing out these flashcards as an example, since we do offer flashcards in some of our lessons, okay? So we do summarize each of the lessons. This is like standard layout for all the lessons. That's why that makes it very convenient for navigation, okay? So here it says students will watch 2 brief videos. And those videos are linked into this lesson as well for easy access. And here we have some screenshots from in the game to help you figure out where you're at in the game for students. That way it can show you like the details of what they should be doing. And so if this one just basically tells students, or well, tells you what to do to carry out this lesson as well. For example, like it tells you some technical details about the game, like where to click to bring up a certain feature, like click on the wigwam to bring the player to the wigwam, or to buy some items to decorate it with. Let's go to the next lesson. So rabbits do a multiplication. Here's an example of a lesson that combines math and history. So you can see this overwhelmed, sad child shutting down, and she is very sick of like long lessons. So here is an example of a short lesson in addition to the one we just presented to you. This one teaches 2 standards, which is like determining an unknown whole number using multiplication or division, in addition to fluently multiplying and dividing within 100. This one is also 10 minutes. You need a device with a web browser. That means you need an internet connection. So the cross-cultural component is that students learn about what Ojibwe people ate. And if you're teaching this to a tribal school with students from a tribe, you can potentially meet your cultural standards of your school district, such as in my old school district. When I was a teacher, we had Diné cultural standards. I feel that this lesson would be good for meeting those standards as well, because yes, it is Native American, but then, you can devise it. You can, design your lesson so that maybe you can cross-compare Ojibwe people with, say, the tribe of your choice, the Navajo people, for example. And that would still, that would still lead to critical thinking and, meaningful discussion later in your lesson. So here, the students would watch a video on Rabbit Stew to get the cultural component down, and they would play the Rabbit Tic-Tac-Toe game in Making Camp Premium to be able to tie that cultural lesson in addition to getting down some meaningful drill practice with multiplication. And you can have the students play these games for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that would be some meaningful practice, as these resources are standards aligned as well and are backed up by summative assessment through your teacher reports under data. Let's go to data really quick. So data reports, if you're just like, curious to see what your students have done, this is where you would go to visit their Making Camp Premium data that they've just entered. So that would have all your student reports and the standards that they are aligned to within data reports. Okay, after you play the rabbit snaring game, you can also play a matching game to earn more points. Click on the box with the buffalo. So this one actually needs a bit of a screenshot here, but we can quickly add that later on. But there's a part in the game where you would click on the buffalo to go to that game. It's a matching multiplication game. and it brings up immediate and frequent feedback for your students as well, and provides hints within those games. So here's another cultural component that we can offer within this lesson. So you can go to your wigwam and then trade for items, and that would be the reward component of playing the game. It's like an in-game money system where students they reap the rewards of their success by being able to furnish a tribal home for themselves and like customize it. And it also has like other other cultural features like interactive, how do you say, like icons. Like anytime you buy something in the wigwam, you can like sort of bring it to life, or you learn something about the item you just bought by clicking on it as soon as it appears in the wigwam. Or the teepee. There's a version with a teepee that we have called Making Camp Lakota. So like I said earlier, you can always access your student summative assessment within Making Camp Premium by going to the data reports page of our website to learn how. But yes, included here are more state standards. We kind of if you scroll up to the very top, we didn't include all the standards because we want to get to material right away, but we included extra standards that these lessons would meet.